Well, it's Wednesday night, means it's dedicated to NFL. We've got the guys, we got to up security around here. There's too many Dawsons coming in on a weekly basis. Al Dawson, Tyler Dawson, Kirill Smolyansky coming on as his Bengals take center stage on Thursday. A couple of winners. We all got it's the circle of winners here in the Zoom box. Atlanta, Cincy, your Vikes. So Atlanta takes out the Giants, and then I take out Saquon Barkley, and then I get taken out on YouTube. It's just, because it was to my overall point of I don't trust running backs. I think they're a bad investment. And I should have clarified, Barkley after the injury looks not as good. He's not the same running back. And I was strong in saying he's not good. And then all the dumbass, I did appreciate some people coming out in a good back and forth. They're obviously trying to, the Giant fan defending their team, but it's like, well, the team's bad. It's like, okay, well, Tennessee Titans aren't great, but Derrick Henry's a fucking animal and actually, propels that team, makes Tannehill the quarterback he is. But let's talk about Saquon Barkley, because apparently, we've got the caveman dipshits coming out. Don't think I have a father for some reason. Think I look like Scotty McCreery, which I think is a compliment. And what do you guys think? I've heard Finch from American Pie, but Scotty McCreery's a new one.
I'm a big, actually, American Idol fan, so
yeah. Okay, there you go. That's right. This guy is a huge. He lives in his mom's basement. He loves American Idol, and he calls me Scotty. So we appreciate this man welcoming aboard. But yeah, he's like, I mean, it's just improve the entire team, and Saquon will be better. Yeah, no fucking shit. Same for every single player. Here we go. So let's have a running back debate, because you guys paid Dalvin Cook. You've got Joe Mixon. So let's talk about this, because it is an interesting debate, and we'll start with that. So here's the thing with Barkley. Again, he suffers the injury, and that's the huge thing here. He's not the same running back since the injury. 10 attempts for 26 yards against Denver. Okay, Denver's a really good defense, and they were down, so they're trying to throw back into it. 13 attempts, 57 yards against a lesser defense compared to year over year Washington football team, and he did have one for 41 yards. So at one point, he was literally 12 attempts for 16 yards. Like he's good for maybe breaking through the defense once, but other than that, there's just so many 1 yard stuffs, 2 yard stuffs. Most recently against Atlanta, 16 for 51. He had a 15-yard rush. That's basically 2 yards per carry, 15 attempts, 36 yards. So am I crazy? Was I too harsh on the homie Saquon? Let's go to Johnny Unitas, Al Dawson.
I don't think you're too harsh. The numbers kind of speak for themselves. I think you're right. Post-injury, he has not been the same. Before the injury, he looked like he was going to be the future of the NFL.
Yeah, again, I maybe was underestimating what he did in his first 2 years. But again, the injury is the key clarification there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he just hasn't been the same. And as far as fantasy relevance, and even put fantasy aside, just top tier running back, I wouldn't even put him in that top tier anymore. He's kind of middle of the pack.
That's what I'm saying. But let's talk so that's my thing is I wouldn't even touch a running back. Joe Mixon was a high round guy. That's who you have. And he's put up solid numbers, Kirill. But, would you, when it comes time to say, hey, pay him or let him walk, are you willing to shell out that money? Or are you willing to check in a guy like Samaje Perine and see if he can get it done?
I'm a giant advocate for not paying running backs. He was a second-round pick, and I would never touch a running back in the first, because that fifth-year extension, that's where you, get a tackle in the first round, a receiver, someone who gets, the next contract is a lot of money. Your running back's contract, it's not supposed to be that much. Mixon got paid last offseason. It wasn't that good. He's one of the highest paid, and then he missed all of last season, basically, too. So he's a second rushing right now in the NFL, but at the same time, running backs, a 21-year-old can come out of nowhere, and a third-round running back is going to be a stud like Kamara. He was a mid-round pick, became a stud.
Great point. And let's go to Tyler Dawson's Vikings, because Dalvin Cook's interesting. The only guy I would pay is because he is a freak. It's Derrick Henry. That guy runs like a cheetah, and he's built like a fucking mound of granite. Cook's got the numbers. I was looking at it. I feel like he gets injured, but then he did play 14 games the last 2 years. So maybe I'm just looking at something different there. But look at the guy behind him, Madison. They win behind Madison getting the start because Cook's injured. And that's a dude that could start on a majority of NFL rosters. Again, they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Madison and Cook are very similar, and I'm not talking just about their hairstyle. I think both of them are very effective in the pass game, obviously, as well in the rush game as well. Dalvin's a little bit more thicker, I would say. He's got a little bit more meat on his bones, but Madison can break tackles for his size, and he just absolutely cut up the Seahawks defense like a bunch of menches, to be honest.
Great point. Okay, let's get to trivia because I thought about it too. What Super Bowl winners over the last decade have been doing that at running back? Could you answer me that? The Chiefs won with Damian Williams, for Christ's sake. And then when they finally burn a first-round pick on Edwards-Helaire, now they don't look like the same team. I know they just went to the Super Bowl, but what if you just put that on defense and had a guy like, Parsons, who we'll talk about the Dallas Cowboys Monday Night Football win in a little bit. But that's my question to you, Al. And then I've got a trivia question. When is the last time a Super Bowl MVP went to a running back? Anyone?
I'm thinking here.
It's over 2 decades.
Okay.
23 freaking years.
Me, man.
Terrell Davis
In Super Bowl 33. But that just goes to show you. I think in the last decade, like the teams that weren't built around a running back, which you could argue is what the Giants did when they went with Barkley. So again, Kirill, it's I guess Marshawn Lynch might have been the only guy, but that wasn't even his first team with the Seahawks, and it was basically Russell Wilson's team.
They didn't give it to him at the one the next year either. They didn't
Exactly.
Yeah. So
who knows? Okay, well, let's talk about Monday Night Football and the Cowboys in that same division for a second. They look great with Dak coming back. Zeke's another guy who I was, I'd be close to paying. I didn't think he was going to have a big game, and he made me eat crow, which, again, we'll see how Saquon does this weekend against New Orleans. And I'll gladly eat crow if he has a huge game. But the Eagles get destroyed. Mike McCarthy just looks like a dumbass, even like in spite of himself. They are still winning games. He doesn't know when to call timeout at the end of the half. He ices his own kicker, and they still somehow win. Now look at the schedule. They hang with the Bucks. They beat the Chargers, and now they destroy the Eagles. Are you picking the Cowboys? We'll go around for divisional picks here, starting with Al.
Yeah, for the NFC East, I think it's got to be the Cowboys. Looking at the other teams there, the Giants just aren't competitive. Eagles got obliterated by them, and the Washington football team, I kind of liked them with Fitzmagic in there, but I don't think Heineke's the guy. So I think Cowboys is a no-brainer. Cowboys division, Kirill?
Yeah, not even close, really.
Yeah, it's the NFC East.
Enough said.
I have it between the Cowboys and the football team, and I think it's going to come down to actually closer week 17. I think you hit it on the head. McCarthy, I'm not really sold on him, and I feel like Dallas will do something stupid. I hate to say it. Someone might get hurt down the stretch, and they might just go on a super cold streak. But no, I think it's going to come down to week 17 between the two.
Have you guys, this is a question for anyone, have you guys checked out Peyton and Eli yet on the concurrent? Yeah. How awesome is it, Kirill? I checked it out for the first time on Monday.
I don't even watch the normal broadcast. I just listen to that. It's awesome.
Dude,
Eli
they're like
the double bird.
Eli is just so likable. Like he's good God. He's hanging out with his dad at home. They're both self-deprecating of each other. Like it's super fun. And just listening to the way they talk about it. I never watched football before. They're like talking about formations. Like, hey, you already know stepping up the line. They're in cover 2. Hey, he's checking. They're checking. They're changing up the play. They're switching the sides. I'm like, holy crap. This is so much better than Steve Levy just kind of, fumbling over what number caught the ball.
Yeah.
Have you, that the Dawsons checked it out? Is that on the Dawsons?
I haven't checked them out, but this sounds
you
like
guys would love it.
Better than Booger.
Yeah, bro, the Booger mobile is over. But hear me out on this. This is going to be. I feel bad for Steve Levy, because it's like, good God, they like Peyton and Eli are trending on Twitter every single Monday. Now they're off for a couple of weeks. Like it's pretty cool how they're doing it. They're working their own schedule, farting around and doing whatever. Bars, like this could be the future of sports. Just have concurrent videos, video streams, broadcasts. Like there is, if your team is playing the traditional broadcast, I would probably check out. Like I'm trying to follow the game. If you're just checking into a game for gambling aspects, there should just be a dedicated gambling broadcast concurrent with it, not unlike what MLB has experimented with in the sabermetrics. Like they have the sabermetrics game, which I have checked out in past. Barstool's kind of figured this out where they realize people just like people watching the game, and it's like just the camera's just on them. But if they actually got media rights to the NFL, they've been in talks doing something with MLB. That's how they could take out ESPN. And Kirill, like you've kind of seen it, you said it, you don't even watch the traditional broadcast anymore because this is just more entertaining.
100%.
Yeah.
Also, the guests they bring on, like Coach Saban recruiting Arch Manning, so like without like actually saying it out loud.
Yeah, no, literally, the guests are crazy, and it's kind of awkward because it's over Zoom. Like Peyton and Eli just watching a game together is it's flawless. That's the better one. But yeah, LeBron looked likable. Nick Saban looked likable. LeBron's breaking news that freaking Pete Carroll offered him a contract to play. It wasn't just Jerry Jones to play football. So that was crazy. Yeah, the double birds, Eli. Yeah, you could blur this out, right? As he's flicking off everyone on live TV. All right, let's finish up NFL and talk about our respective teams. Al, the Vikings get the win. Kirk looks great. I was saying he's getting some early MVP votes if they can keep this up. Defense showed improvement. Good job, Zimmer. Congrats. You did your job. Now you have the Browns this week. What can we expect?
Good thing you mentioned the defense because it took 3 drives for them to figure it out. But after that, they were solid. I mean, as far as quarterback goes, I'm a little bit more scared of Russell Wilson than Baker Mayfield. I think the bigger concern is going to be how the offense can perform against that Browns defense because that front four is scary. So with it being +2, I was looking, and the Browns are 2-1. They could have beat the Chiefs. They were up by 12 at one point.
Yep.
They're 1 loss, but the other 2 wins have come against the Texans, who aren't spectacular. And
didn't cover, but that was when they had Taylor.
Exactly. And then they beat the Bears on Justin Fields' debut. And didn't look good. So
I was watching that game, and it was just
haven't beat really anyone too exciting. At home, playing at US Bank, I'm surprisingly going to be a homer and taking the Vikes.
For what it's worth, I like the Vikings too. How about you, Ty?
I like the Vikings as well this week. I can confidently say after 2 years of it's a little under 2 years, but of being in US Bank fans, it was absolutely electric there at the game.
Yeah, you were at the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Baker Mayfield they play outdoors in Cleveland. I think playing indoors with a fan base, and Vikings, obviously, with a little bit of momentum after their big win against Seattle. Zimmer finally gets it done. I think it's going to be electric in there again. I think the big question, though, for this game is who's going to be blocking Myles Garrett. The little banged up on the offensive line right now. Rashad Hill was a limited participant. It was good to see that Christian Darrisaw participated today. So hopefully he might get some action, but that'd be a very tough first assignment. First game in the NFL, you're blocking Myles Garrett.
Is Cook going to play?
Cook. So Cook didn't practice at all last week, and he was limited today. So that's a good sign to see that he practiced today. I'm thinking he's going to play.
Sounds good. Thursday night takes center stage. Kirill, your Bengals blast the Steelers at their place. Big Ben just looked dreadful. I mean, good Lord. He's just targeting Najee Harris because it's the only guy he could throw to. I don't know how the hell the Steelers somehow beat the Bills in Buffalo in week 1. But now look at the Bengals. They beat the Vikings, who could also, you guys could easily be 3-0 now. If it wasn't for a field goal, and then overtime could go either way. But the Bengals have got their own kind of a fluke loss in Chicago. I mean, the Bears are a different team in Chicago, but you get the grace of the winless Jaguars and the coverless Jaguars in Cincinnati on Thursday. Kirill.
I'm kind of scared for the game.
Bengals, oh God, come on!
I can't remember the last time the Bengals won a Thursday night game. Last 5 I remember they've lost. Jesse Bates is out. T. Higgins is out. I hate when the Bengals, their franchise should never be over a touchdown favorite. And the fact they're 7.5 point favorites last time I checked scares me. Oh no, it's one of those things. As a Bengals fan, I'm so used to losing, and like
Yeah.
we have a good team, but Thursday night games just scare me because usually the worst team, like that, they're gonna stay bad. They're not gonna like those extra couple days for preparation. Those don't really matter to them, so it usually evens out.
Urban Meyer kick sixes the Cardinals and then still can't win, still can't cover. I mean, everyone he's playing is Alabama. That's hysterical. Okay, Falcons will beat the Washington football team at home on Sunday. How about that? Am I crazy? I told you they beat the Giants. Any thoughts there, Al? Al's talking to someone possibly here. Johnny, United.
Sorry, I put my phone on mute because was getting some background noise there. You were talking about the Falcons game against the Washington football team, right?
Yes. For what it's worth, my pick is I got the Bengals taking care of business. But what are your guys' picks on my Atlanta Falcons? I think they're going to get it done at home. Surprisingly, a dog with Taylor Heineke, Tyler's boy, coming in.
I like the Falcons. I'm telling you on this one, Bill.
So,
I'm hoping Ridley. This is Ridley's big breakout game.
I got the football team. I think Scary Terry's gonna go for at least over 100, maybe 2 tutties.
What was that game, Kirill? The Falcons win a low-scoring affair. I thought that was going to be through the roof again. I mean, that's what Barkley couldn't do shit against the Falcons. Like, how the hell was that possible? That's what I'm saying.
That was just 2 bad teams playing each other. That was like
fair enough.
I didn't even want to tune into that game, and then I have Kyle Pitts on my fantasy team, and that just how do you get 3 targets to that guy against the Giants defense too? So
yeah,
I have no idea.
Arthur Smith has not figured out how to use Kyle Pitts. Okay, we've got an update in the Gersson Rosas scandal. Tyler Dawson, how about this? I mean, you almost went viral. Former Timberwolves employee. We talked about the mismanagement and just the chaos. I didn't know it was this chaotic. Where Gersson Rosas basically is photographed at a Minnesota United game in a box that was supposed to be for fucking Timberwolves personnel. And he who is married is with the VP of communications who is also married. And they must have been on the kiss cam or something because they were tongue deep. How stupid can you be? And how does Glenn Taylor not know what the hell's going on where he hires this guy that's apparently reported, is creating a toxic workplace, a horrible guy. I mean, what the hell is happening?
No, I mean, that's just Minnesota Timberwolves basketball in the last 16, 17 years in a nutshell. I mean, hey, that's obviously not a good look for anyone, but especially to be in his role with the Timberwolves and then obviously her role. It was a no-brainer that Glenn Taylor had to can him, I think.
Yeah.
Especially coming out there.
How long was this going on? Because apparently a lot of people in the front office knew what was going on. And then finally, the picture surfaces, which was Gersson Rosas trying to get fired? He wanted to leave the Timberwolves. What is he doing? And yeah, he gets canned. Glenn Taylor made the right move, but it's okay, you hired the wrong guy, fucking clearly.
Right. Yeah. And I can't believe that the people in the front office knew about it and it was going on that long. And it took this photo to go viral.
Look it up. You guys, if you're listening to this, you got to look up this photo. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a mess. I wonder if Towns is going to get traded. And then what the hell is that going to do for Anthony Edwards' kind of growth? Just a mess. We'll keep posted. Basketball season right around the corner. We'll get you out of here. Al Dawson, Ty Dawson, Kirill Smolyansky. His Bengals take on the Jaguars Thursday night. Vikings, a big game on Sunday against the Browns coming in. You going to that one? Either of you two? Should we go?
I'll be there.
Wow, Al, how about that?
I will not.
Oh, okay, tough. I want to get out of here with just the baseball final week. My Cardinals are red hot. I'm about to go watch them. What Shohei Ohtani is doing is the greatest thing I have ever seen in the world. I just have to profess. What the Angels are ruining his career like they did with Trout. It's my God, it's not only he's the lock for the MVP. 45 bombs, 98 ribbies, 592 slugging percentage, 962 OPS. This is what gets me. The 24 stolen bases for this dude that looks like a praying mantis. Oh yeah, and he pitches. Good Lord.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely a lock for the MVP, but it's just unfortunate that the Angels can't put a team together that makes it to the postseason.
4 years now with Ohtani, 0 for 4.
Exactly. And I mean, you said it well. They're just killing Trout's career as well. I mean, I think they have two of the best players in baseball.
Yeah.
And
they had Rendon, but injuries hurt.
Yeah. They just can't get together.
Appreciate it. So we've got Ray Guy, aka Al Dawson, Kirill Smolyansky, Tyler Dawson. I'm Scotty McCreary. This is Corbett's Corner. We'll talk to you later this week.